right, welcome to Mansion of the Heart TV. I am Dave Beer, and I'm super stoked about this series of artists with something to say. And today's guest blew my mind when I first saw his work, and I was kicking myself when I realized that I was looking at all this incredible work at Art Basel in Miami 2023, and I didn't know that he was the artist when I was so mesmerized by all the paintings. And then I realized, hey, that was the artist, and I missed my chance to talk to this guy. So
Standing right
now I'm
there.
super, super excited that we get to have a proper conversation. So,
Okay.
everybody, please welcome Kent, your therapist approved artist.
That's right. I'll take it.
So glad to have you with us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I took a deep dive through your website, which is so cool and robust.
Mhm.
So we'll post the link. Everybody check
Okay.
that out. But I mean, you got so much going on. You have these incredible paintings, but you also wrote a book. You also have this, um, what is it, paint and poetry newsletter. And
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'll be honest, I think I have too much going on. I think it's time. I think I've decided it's time to step back a little bit and just do the stuff that uh I don't want to say got me here because I'm really not anywhere, but the stuff that I'm less about people knowing me and more about people knowing what I do. And I'm gonna calm that down a little bit and I'm just wanna paint stuff that means something to people.
hmm. I hear this from artists so often, and yet like we're here because we also want to know you, like we
Yeah.
want to know
Mhm.
you, but we
Yeah.
also love your
Mhm.
work. And I imagine that's tricky. Like how do you balance that?
It's tough, as an artist, you, let's just say, as a full-time artist, I need to sell things. Um, I want to sell things in order to, pay the bills or have my studio or do the things that I want to do. And that's a tough line between I want to make what I like, what I think needs to be in the world, and what I want to offer the world. And I could do that all day long. But if nobody else likes it, I'm gonna have to get another job or change what I paint or things like that. So it's a tough line between I'm gonna make this because I love it and I believe in what it says versus I'm gonna make something that I love and I believe in what it says, but also has a small amount of commercial value to it, perhaps. Or um it's a tough line. Like, how much of my stuff do I recreate as a print or as a shower curtain or as a dog bed or as a water bottle or all those types of things, licensing and all those types of things that you are pulled towards, and then have deadlines and things. And well, wait, Kent, we want you to draw a bunch of cassette tapes or 8-track tapes from the 80s. Can you do that in black and white? Sure. Wait a minute. That's all online now? How did that happen? I don't want that. No. So wait, can we do what we want a series of timeout? What I When I started this because I wanted to paint on canvas and I wanted to be in people's homes, not because it would have a price tag associated with that, but when you walk by that, you feel like you can slay your giant that day, or I
Mm.
am a beautiful person. F the system or what it tells me I'm supposed to be, or I am taking a risk and it's going to be a story. Might be a sad story, but I'm going to take the risk anyway. Um, you know, what happens when what happens? How do I find out what happens when I don't give up? What is that story? Those are the things that I wanted to put into people's minds and on their walls. I say, I'm Kent, I'm the artist, absolutely the tortured kind. I'm on a mission to make the walls of your home, your office, or your secret lair as colorfully and wonderfully composed as you are.
Mm.
Um, I I want you to walk by what I make every day and think, yeah, I got this. I can do it. Or that was a pretty sweet time in my life. I'm glad I was able to capture a sort of a timestamp with that piece or that painting.
Mm,
I think I went down the road of a little bit of the past couple of years of like, oh, I want everybody to know who I am. And that, to be honest, didn't work in the way that I thought it might, I thought it could. And it is just an endless treadmill of trying to get to the next dog treat.
mm.
And I'm done with dog treats. I'm okay. I'm off the treadmill.
Uh,
So,
off the treadmill. That's incredible. I mean, I really hear you. I used to make music and
okay.
kind of got over it, but that was always such a thing with music too, because I was trying to find that middle road, I think, that you're talking about. And then
Mhm.
my creative partners were just so adamant, like, no, that it has to be this way. And I'm like, but that's not listenable,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like that gives me a headache, man, or whatever. Yeah.
yes, yes. So yeah, it really is that, like, how can this be really authentic, but also, yeah, appealing to other people? And I know it's
Mhm.
it's such a tricky thing, and I wrestled with that a lot myself. Like, how human do I have to be in terms of, like, you know,
Mhm.
meeting the masses or whatever it is, and how much am I allowed to just be my eccentric self?
Mhm.
And it's such a funny thing to navigate, but I mean, I've loved watching your shares on socials and just how vulnerable you get with that and that process. Like, you've been
Mhm.
really transparent, which I always find so
Mhm.
inspiring. And you even had a painting that said, like, F the trend or something at one point, right?
Yeah, it said, I believe it said, F you, I am the trend.
I am the trend. I
Yes.
loved
And then,
that
yeah,
so
and
much.
which is great, but it's also like, I want to say I am the trend, but I also want to say I don't care about the trend in a way, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the trend because I don't care what's trending, is where I was going for. I think maybe it got construed a little bit, but it was literally, I started painting my fingernails because they always had so much black paint under them. I looked like I'd never showered.
Mm.
And so they're not painted right now, so I look like I haven't showered. Um, and I was at the gym one day, and my buddies, as usual, were making fun of me, which is why I go to the gym, just so that I can be made fun of. But they were making fun of my fingers, and they're like, "Oh, you're just trying to be trendy." And I just stood up and said, "You know what? F you. I am the trend," like as a joke. And then, of course, I went into the corner and typed that in my phone. I'm like, "That's a painting." And to be 100% transparent, I would say 90% of my paintings come from a conversation with a person. I mean, my business plan is just be more human. Um, whether that's talking to people to find out what would really make them happy as to receive a piece of art, or what they really want compared to what they think they want. Not forcing them to be like, but it's hard for people to explain what they want on their walls, or how they want something to sort of timestamp an event that they had in their life. And I think I've kind of figured that out a little bit, as far as just be human and have those conversations. Um, just paint your nails. If your buddies think it's stupid, good. I think what they do is stupid. Okay. If you can't go through life laughing at yourself or smiling or being like, you know what? Blue nails today it is. Okay. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Uh, the freedom, yes. I love it. And I mean, you touched on your process a little bit, which I definitely want to hear
Mhm.
more about, but I would also like to just read everybody something that's right there on your website. It
Mhm.
literally just says, "Hey, this is the coolest thing ever." And it says, "You and me seek connection, and I
Mhm.
paint to pull you closer, to breathe life into love lost to champion the underdog." Did I say that
Mhm.
right? To
You
breathe life
did. You got it.
into love lost to champion the underdog, to find out what happens when you don't give up. While words on a naked canvas flirt with brushstrokes and simplicity mirrors complexity in a little black dress, I want these somethings to mean something to you. This is your art for your walls, for your bedroom, for your secret lair. I'm Kent, your therapist recommended artist.
Mhm.
And that was my experience. I was like, my place is very white, very zen, but when I saw your work, I was like, uh-oh. I just felt so compelled. I'm such an energy person, and
Hmm.
I felt that authenticity, and I felt your depth, and I felt like there was a whole lot more going on than just like, you know, commotional emotions coming out on
Hmm.
canvas. Like it was like I could feel lots of layers, lots of depth, and that's really what matters to me when I'm
Hmm.
thinking about art, when I'm looking at art. I love art in general, but there are like two artists on my walls. Like you're one of two
Hmm.
artists on my walls. And yeah, I don't care about how famous or how old or any of the
Hmm.
things. It's just like, and you're super out there, but there's just this feeling of integrity in your work and depth in your work. And I love the merger of the paint and the words. And it's
Hmm.
just like something I had never experienced before. It was like a total experience to be yeah, witnessing a bunch of your pieces together. But then I had the exact same experience when I came to your Instagram page, when I came to your website. I was like, that one, that one, that one, that, I have five now. So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's the coolest thing. So I really appreciate the integrity you bring to it, the vulnerability you bring to it, the real life kind of humanistic
Hmm.
feeling. And I think it took me a while to sort out like that's what makes life so meaningful is to
Hmm.
be so deeply vulnerably human. And yeah, that little blurb I just read from your website, I think it speaks to that, the simplicity, the
Thank you.
complexity, the everything you said about, yeah, when I walk past, even, something like find out what happens when you don't give up.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, that's inspiring. That's inspiring to the people that come through my space. So yeah, so you said that there's this component of like I'm going through life and I'm
Hmm.
having these conversations and I write these things down in my phone.
Hmm.
So that sounds like kind of your flow in terms of inspiration at the moment, but I know you also didn't start out really loving art because of the way it was set up in the
Yeah.
educational system. So maybe take us through a little bit of
Sure.
that too.
Yeah. I think I think a lot of times, so my Instagram bio says artist, not in the art world, Jesus, not in the church, underdog, not afraid of the big bad wolf. And part of that is I don't know, I don't have a reason why, and it doesn't really matter. But I've spent a lot of time in the past few years trying to be accepted by the art world. And I don't know if it's because I use words or if because you can find my work in places like CB2, so it's wholesale. I don't know the reason. Galleries don't like me, art shows don't like me, whatever it is. And I spent a lot of time and energy and tears and therapy trying to figure out why and trying to, I'll just say, I'll be honest, I've tried to solve it. Like I want to be accepted by that world. And then a few months ago, I kind of was like, wait a minute, that's a lot of money on therapy. That's a lot of tears. That's a lot of stupid, you wrecked my day because somebody with a hoity-toity art background doesn't like my work. Good for you. You're the same person that taught how to draw hands and fish in grade school, or told me that, you know, stop doodling on your textbook. That's not art, or whatever it was. I was raised in a traditional school system where if you couldn't draw a face or hands or a fish, you weren't a good artist. Who was the good artist in school? We all remember the one or two artists in school, and they could draw faces, caricatures, or hands. It was all realistic. And so I just assumed I wasn't going to be an artist. That's fine. And through accidents, I went to school for interior design and things like that. They handed me a paintbrush and I started doing things. And I think through lack of confidence or things like that, I would do a painting and then I'd throw some words on it. And if you look at my first work, it had words, but they weren't that good. Um, And then I stopped doing the words for a while because I listened to the people say, well, real artists don't use words, or I can get that at Michael's, or, well, he's just eat, pray, love, or whatever he wants to say on it, whatever. Um, and so for almost 2 years, I didn't put a word on a painting. Um, I don't know if I sold any of those paintings in 2 years, but it did make the art have more layers. I started composing color a lot better, using color or the lack of color, or I discovered texture. Um, and then one day I was at a show and people started asking me, "Hey, Kent, where's those words that we liked? I liked your words." Really? I didn't think that was real art. And so you can kind of see I have a history of battling between what's real art, what am I good at? And they wobble back and forth like a chair that doesn't have a leg that's all crooked, or it's missing that bumper pad at the bottom. I think I've just taken all the bumper pads off and I'm like, you know what? I have things that I can say that mean something to people. And if it's on canvas, I don't care what they say about that. Um, so I spend a lot of time on the background of the painting now and then add the words rather than use the words to complete the painting, which I used to do.
Mm.
My favorite way to paint is to start something and not know what's going to be. But I have a collection of conversations, words, sayings, jokes, lines from sporting events that an announcer might say, or all sorts of collections of things that will someday be a painting. And if you're with me and I stop and I turn and I look at you like, whoa, I might ask you, hey, can I use that for a painting? Um,
Mm.
Everything from a conversation with someone who was like, oh my God, are you still talking? It's a great painting because you could debate with your partner or with the person in your house with you. Was that you or was that me? Which one of us was still talking? But just things like that that I think are part of life. Um, One of my favorite ones is "Pull Me Through the Crowd."
Mm.
Who doesn't want to go to a concert and get a little closer? But you're not going to just bully your way through by yourself. Hey, pull me through the crowd. I've got my person to pull me through the crowd or get me home. But things like that are they're important to me as far as like my life. Why would I want to make something up to paint when it's all right here?
Mm.
And why would I want to pretend that I'm the artist who knows everything, who knows how to do it, who knows how to have a following, who knows what to put on canvas every day? Because I don't know any of those answers. I don't know what you're going to buy. You met me at Art Basel, and I bet you didn't know this story. I had been to Art Basel 2 years before that with a gallery and had put in 2 to 3 paintings each time, and I had sold all of them. And so Kent, thinking I'm super cool and I've figured all this out, I'll have my own space this year. So for $10,000, I had my own space. I painted for almost 6 months, and I will be as honest as I can. I took my best work to Art Basel when you met me. I sold one painting, and I basically gave it away because I was so taken aback by the fact that I none of them left.
Mm.
I was the most vulnerable I had ever been at a show. I was honest, I was scared, and I thought that that would turn into somebody would find me. That was my goal. That was why I spent the money. Somebody will find me and I will go to a big gallery. I'll do all these things. I don't have a reason why it didn't happen and it's okay. But that weekend or that week when you met me is a big moment in my life because since then I have been in a funk.
Mm.
And I have been in that funk until probably 3 months ago when I decided, you know what? I don't need those people to like my work. I don't need to have a painting for $20,000 that you're like, it's just blue, dude. What the hell? I have people that love what I do, that champion what I do, that tell people you need to go talk to Kent. Kent will take care of you. Kent will love you. Kent will be honest with you. Kent might joke with you. He might cry with you. He might ask you questions that hurt. But
Mm,
when you get that canvas, you will probably cry. And it doesn't mean you're crying sad. It could be crying happy. It could be crying whatever. But
mhm,
you will pull out a piece of, you will pull out a canvas that, like you said, has an unexplainable energy. And man, that fills my bucket way more than a check, than an art critic saying he does good work. That was a big moment in my career, and it was rough, and it has been. And I think when I said that I've tried a lot of things, I think from that moment on, I went into panic mode of like, oh my God, I did what I usually do and I'm vulnerable and it didn't work.
mm,
Oh my God, my system, it's broken or it didn't work or I don't know what to do. And I tried all sorts of things. I tried sexy paintings. I tried different kinds of paintings. I tried, I'll send you something in months boxes things. I tried every sort of gimmick that I could think of, and I got caught in the Instagram race of comparison. And they're doing this, and they're doing this trend, or they're doing that, and I wore my ass out.
mm,
And I've spent the last 3 or 4 months making things for people. And I'd love to say worrying less about the finances, because when I don't worry about the finances, it works much better.
yeah,
But having moved and building a new studio and things like that, I worry about them every day.
mm,
And that's a hard thing for an artist. It's hard to create when you're like, oh my God, I need $1,000 tomorrow, and you're frozen of like, what do I do? Well, I can sell a painting or whatever. Well, just try this at home. Try saying you need $3,000 tomorrow and be creative.
yeah,
It's hard. It sucks. So I've gone back and said, what are you good at? Stop trying to fit into this art category or that art category or this art category. You don't have to be in a category of everybody else. You
mm,
don't have to go on an Instagram and be like, okay, I can do the murals. I can paint people. I can do all the things that everybody else does. When I'm just Kent and I paint words and I meet people where they are, so much better. And it's hard to do because I want to be on the pedestal receiving the medal and look at me, I won Wimbledon or whatever. I'm okay if I'm just in my little Utah barn and the people around here know what I do and send their friends to me. Um, it's making me really happy right now.
mm. Oh, you deserve that. I'm so happy to hear it. And yeah, it's the weirdest thing how some of the most talented people, the deepest people, never really get to the top, and some of the most shallow people. And
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
great way to put it. Yeah.
I just, and not trying to be critical or
No,
judgmental,
no.
but yeah, I just see it. I notice.
Yeah, I see it. And for the last 2 years, not only do I see it, but it made me angry.
Hmm.
You don't deserve to be there. I do. I work 100 hours a week. You work whatever. Why were you given this trophy?
Hmm.
Whatever the trophy, like whatever. And through therapy and some other events and things like that, I've kind of realized making it doesn't have to be the movie ending. Like we all think that when we make it, you get the car and the girls and the what or whatever you want, like whatever you have in your head of making it, that doesn't really ever happen. And the people that you see doing that, have an honest conversation with them. But like making it really is just at the end of the day, or in the actually for me, making it is getting up in the morning and not having to run to the next thing to do, to the next thing to do, the next thing to do to pay a bill or to get something shipped out or whatever. If I can wake up in the morning and think, I've got a couple things to do today. When I get to them, I get to them. I've made it.
Oh
And I've
yeah.
had a few of those days recently, and they're wonderful. And I don't have a bunch of them strung together yet. Man, one or two of them can really excite you and rejuvenate you for the next few days.
Mm, yes. Yes.
My race is over. I'm done racing.
Oh,
I can't race anymore.
good for you. Good for you. Yeah.
I
I love
physically
it.
can't race anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. And it's so interesting. I just flashed in on a painting of yours I had seen that I will completely botch.
It's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll have to say it
Yeah.
correctly, but it's something to the effect of the people who don't appreciate you will someday be.
Yeah, it's based on a quote from I don't know if it was Johnny Depp or one of them that said, oh, I'm gonna screw it up too. But yeah, but basically it's um those who you want to look up to you ignored you when you were little. And now that you might be a name or something, then they want to all come back to you and be like, "Oh, you were so great back then." And they're like, they used to tell you, "Dude, don't do that. You're not gonna make it."
Yeah. And then they
So
start telling everybody
yeah, they
else
start to
about
everybody else
them.
like, "Oh yeah, I knew Kent when he was, when he was just had a little paint set in his little garage, and he was making stuff out of his garage. I know him very well. He was my best friend." It's like the band that you go to see, and everyone's like, "Oh, I used to listen to them when they were playing out of their truck at the county fair." And you're like, they never played at a county fair. But you know, we all have things we love to catch on to things that made it big and say we were part of that in the beginning.
Mm,
Um, it would just be really cool if, like, I don't know, why do we always have to make it big? Why can't we just make it to the middle? The middle's the fun part. And what's the best part of a jelly donut? The middle, right? We're always kind of in the middle. Even if let's say you make it. What happens every year when they win the Super Bowl? What do they say? Well, we're going to go back and we're going to take a little break and we're going to try to do it again next year. You were happy for 20 minutes, dude. 20 minutes, and you're already thinking about next year. Like, we're always in the middle. You win the Super Bowl, you're in the middle of your career going to try to win it again. You're never at the end. We're always in the middle. Just celebrate the middle. That's got to be a painting somewhere. I don't know how, but it's got to be a painting.
oh, it has to be. We have your
Yeah,
next
I
one.
don't. I don't know if it's celebrate the middle or something. I don't know. We'll
Yes.
figure it out. But yeah, but we're always in the middle of something, right? Even if it's done,
Mhm.
we're on to the next thing. I'm gonna make another one, or I can make it faster. I can make it better. I can make. We're always in the middle, but we're trying to get to the end.
Hmm.
Why can't we just be happy with effing jelly donut middle cream good stuff
That's right.
and
That's
just eat
right.
that? So the theme of the day is just have a donut. Have a donut, and preferably a cake donut because they're my favorite. But yeah.
No, I mean I get so yeah, a little cranky about this whole thing. Like you gotta be
Hmm.
the best, you gotta be on top, you gotta, the
Hmm.
hustle culture is so toxic
Yeah.
and the people I work with, it's like I say the exact same thing. We can't all be the best. We can't all be at the top. And the middle
Hmm.
is a good place to be, as you said. Like
Yeah.
there's peace there, there's time. I've been seeing a lot of things about, the real luxury these days is slow mornings and free
Yeah.
time. And
Yes.
it's just exactly what you were saying. So, yeah, we have to prioritize our peace. We have to
Yeah.
protect our peace. We have to protect our integrity because it's so easy to lose yourself in that hustle. It's so easy to lose yourself in trying to make it all work. And yeah, we're
You are
not
so
here
you
to
are
lose
so right.
ourselves.
You are so right. I have a smaller painting, or I do these words for friends where it's just a bunch of sayings, and one of them is, "No one on earth can do what you do precisely the way you do it."
Hmm.
We're all in some sort of a category, whether that's your industry, your sport, your whatever. Like we all have a job. and let's say we go to a gym. Well, we go to different types of gyms, or we drive a different type of car, or we walk a certain way, or we eat certain foods. So we're all in different categories, right? No one is categoryless. So I'm an artist. I go to a CrossFit gym, even though I don't do CrossFit. That's another story. But like I love sneakers, so I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, but I refuse to buy any big name brands. Like I won't buy Nike and I won't do all of that. So I'm in that category. Like we all have certain categories, hobbies, what are they, right? We can't be at the top of every category. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're afraid to get into new categories because we might be at the bottom. Oh my God, I don't want to take a pottery class because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I can't do that. Oh my God, I could take yoga. What if I'm not doing, what if I'm doing upward dog and not downward dog? And oh my God, what if people are looking at me? Right? So we're all worried about that. But every single one of us has a unique talent or a unique place in every single one of those categories.
Hmm.
You can go to CrossFit and not lift a damn, like you could lift everything wrong. Like you could cheer everybody else on and be super fun and super funny. And we're all like, God, she sucks at that. Wait a minute. I like when she's here. Keep going. Or like, I don't have all the sneakers that I would like to, but I have ones that are super unique because everybody else wants to buy the pandas or whatever it is, right? I can, I paint differently than everybody else. Whatever category you're in, you can be in it and be the most unique person in that category. That doesn't mean you're the best or top or whatever. You just bring something that nobody else can bring, no matter what you are doing. And I wish people realize that rather than, oh my God, I can't do this, or I can't help that person, or I can't do this because I don't know enough.
Yeah.
Just come and help me pick up something in the studio. That's all I need. Like, I don't need the best assistant ever, or the best cook ever, or the best whatever. Just, it's not even do your best. It's do your you.
Yeah.
Do whatever you're doing the way you know how, even if it's messed up, man.
Hmm.
Just do it. And if somebody doesn't like it and they want it done differently, it's all yours, man. Have at it. You can do it too. You can do it. I don't have to do this. And I wish people were either raised or it was taught that everything you do in a unique way,
Mm.
unique rabbit, unique up on it. Yeah. It's my dad's favorite word. Everything is unique. And I'm always like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Very unique, Kent. Yeah, it is dad, but I don't think you like it. It's just a way of saying I don't know what you're painting or why you're doing that, but it's very unique, Kent. So it's kind of
Mm.
an insight. It's kind of a joke between, whatever. I think my parents still think I just draw like render people's houses for note cards that I was doing in college to make extra money. I think they still think I do that.
Oh, wow. Well, they're missing out, I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
it's fine.
But no, I love the embodiment of that authenticity that you're talking about and just to just show up as you are because I feel like
Yeah.
if we can do that, then we do align with the people who appreciate us for who we
Mhm.
are, right? Yeah, like you said, it could even be like, oh, this person's funny or this person
Yeah,
really
yeah,
lifts me up, even though they're terrible at lifting weights. It's
yeah.
like,
Who cares?
uh,
Yeah, like I mean, most of my friends. This is kind of funny. Most of my friends suck at the things I do.
hmm,
I don't hang out with artists. People are always like, "Oh, do you know this artist?" I'm like, "I don't," because I don't hang out with artists because I don't want to sit around and talk about why we can't sell stuff. I want to have friends that are different than me. I want to have friends that aren't good at what I'm doing. I want friends that are good at some other things, right? Like if I'm good at something, why do I need somebody else that's good at that? I want other friends. Um, we were having a conversation with someone the other day, and they're like, "Oh my God, uh, are we allowed to talk about TV shows?" But my favorite TV show is the Department Q. If anyone's watched it, I am the guy from Department Q. Anyway, for many reasons, I'm not as mean as he is. At least I hope I'm not. But I collect people,
hmm,
and I don't collect them as my like, oh, you're mine. You can't do anything else. But I collect people that have different qualities and different things,
hmm.
and I turn them into like my Ken's little team of cool stuff. And I think everyone does in a way. You collect friends and people and things like that, but I think it's cool to not all be the same. And I know that that's maybe a little bit different than what other people think, but like I don't need a bunch of Kents. Oh God, that would be a terrible room to be in. One is plenty. One is plenty. We don't need more Kents.
I'm with you. Just yeah, the diversity and the capacity to see that yeah, when we have different strengths, that's what really allows community to thrive. There's a scientific term for that too, the trait variation, right? That
Oh,
even the tribes would look for, the trait
okay.
variation, so that yeah, everybody could contribute their thing. Your dad's word unique, their
Yeah.
unique thing to the
Yeah.
group, to the tribe, and that's what makes the tribe really strong. Not yeah, a
Okay.
bunch of people who are good at the same thing.
Yeah. That's a
So
great concept. Yeah.
yeah, I'm so with you. And something else just occurred to me because usually I'm a little like almost anti-romantic because I feel like so many people put so much emphasis on like who am I going to marry? Who am I going to
Oh
fall
yeah.
in
Yeah.
love with?
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
And it feels like such a big distraction
Yeah.
from, the
Yeah. Mhm.
true path. And so I was so confused why I loved so many of your pieces that kind of felt like romantic
Mhm.
notions.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing it's because they're just so human. Like I have that massive one that
Mhm.
says, in a room full of art, I would still stare at you.
Mhm.
Right. And it's like
Yeah.
this part of us that wants to be seen, right? And wants to be
Yeah.
really seen, and
Yeah.
and so we have to be who we are to be seen at that level or to really be appreciated at that level that's actually meaningful to us. So yeah, I had just posted this quote that said something to the effect of if you fall in love with someone's petals and not their roots, you'll have no idea what to do when winter comes.
Hmm. That's beautiful. Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what I feel from your pieces that speak to, you're the best thing ever,
Mhm. Mhm.
like things like that. Like that is
Yeah.
the coolest
A lot
point.
of the pieces, you're right. A lot of them are romantic. Um, and when I say romantic, like I may have had a person in mind, or maybe I didn't. Maybe it was just a thing I heard, or I heard over, or I heard someone over, I overheard someone saying.
Hmm.
But I think this is an even deeper topic. But I think when we fall in love with someone, or we're with a person, or whatever, we're afraid to have the conversation of, yes, I love you. That's a fact. But that doesn't stop me from seeing beauty in other people. And we're afraid to be like, oh my God, that she was beautiful. And not being slapped or like, oh, are you looking at her? No, she's just beautiful. And I would hope you can appreciate beauty in others as well, whoever you're with or whatever. And so I think sometimes like in a room full of art, I'd still stare at you. Yes, I'm speaking of the person that I'm with, but I'm not going to deny it that if I was single or whatever, I could probably find 10 people in a room of 100 that I would stare at in a room of art. Like it's not, it's a difficult conversation to have sometimes because I believe there is beauty in everyone. I don't care what you feel about yourself or whatever. There is something beautiful about everyone, and I'll find it.
Hmm.
And I think that being able to put that on a canvas, hey, you are the best thing ever. It's funny because it should be a word. Phonics is the, I still can't believe we had to take phonics, Phonics or phonics or whatever the hell it is. Like, you
Uh,
can't have a you by definition can't have a rule that has an exception. Then it's not a rule. So whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But I think there is beauty in so many things that we're afraid to say because we're attached to someone who we're only supposed to say they are beautiful.
hmm.
And I'll be honest, if I'm with someone who noticed beauty in others and then compliments me on mine, that is so much more rewarding and validating than someone who was like, I only look at you and notice beauty. Like, no, you don't. There's no way that you look at that person and go, he's pretty fit. He's a good looking guy. Or she has beautiful hair. Or, oh my God, look at her fingernails. Those are beautiful. Tell them. You
Yeah.
don't have to keep that to yourself. Tell them. Tell
Mm.
them you like their car. Tell them you like their fit. Tell them you like whatever. You don't have to say, hey, I like your shoes. We should be married. That's not what you're saying. Like I want to be with someone who notices beauty in other things. And I try to see that. And I think that's one of the things that I'm able to communicate through my words and art is I see beauty in a lot of things, and not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say that intimacy is beautiful. It's all day. It's not just 9 o'clock. Hey, put the candles on, babe. Like, it's all day. Beauty, intimacy, words, communication. I say that as I'm really good at all those things. I suck at them most of the time,
Mm.
but I know they're important.
Mm.
And I know that, growing up in a religious family, intimacy it wasn't talked about.
Yeah.
And that's shameful to me, not in a way like, why can't you have an intimate conversation with someone else's brain? Why not?
Yes.
Why is that? Why is that? Why can't I do that? Whether it's with a guy, girl, who it doesn't really matter. Like, why can't I have an intimate conversation about things that are deep and meaningful and not be like, oh my God, was I supposed to have that? Am I in trouble? What's going on? No, we were made. Okay. Uh, Growing up, we were always, every class, I went to a Christian high school, every class started with, let's take prayer requests. And I'd be like, I would like to pray that we all use the brain that God gave us and stop doing these stupid prayer requests. He made, like, whether you believe in God or not, you have to admit he created whatever. We have a pretty incredible brain.
Yeah.
Use it. Stop. If you read anything about the iPhone, everyone's like, you use 8% of the iPhone's capability. I think we use less of our brains. Like, oh dear God, please help me to get home. You have GPS, a car, your legs, and everything else. Get yourself home.
Yes.
Stop with all the micromanaging of all the situations. If you want to have a conversation with someone and it needs to be deep and insightful and whatever, have it. If you see somebody across the way in the shopping mall who's like, oh my God, she has wonderful posture, tell her. Because most people don't. I don't. I would love to stand up straighter. But all of this to say, I feel like when I'm able to do those types of things and put it on canvas,
Mm.
I think I think that's what makes some of my words hit or have the energy that some others might not. I,
Yes.
I could be wrong, and I'm not trying to say mine are better. I'm just saying I think that's some of the differences is that they're not they don't come from like, oh my God, I hope somebody buys this. They are that painting. I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you, but I will tell you the day I made that painting. I can tell you it was cold. I was in my garage and it didn't have the last line. And it didn't have the last line for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And now it's the painting I sell the most and I give away the most. It
Mm.
just said love hurts sucks. It had no lines through it at all. I can tell you where I was, who I was with, time and I can tell you everything about that.
Mm.
I can tell you that I was kneeling on the floor of my garage, almost under my workbench because it was so cold and the painting fell on the floor when I was writing it. And I can tell you it did not have those last words. I wanted to write them, but I didn't.
Wow.
But if I put words on a painting now, it's either funny or a pun or a terrible dad joke. But hopefully it's something that a conversation I had with someone that means something and
Mm.
and will resonate with more than just me and that person. I think a
Yeah.
lot of the things I put out there are sort of general things that make our day good, bad, or spectacular that we don't notice or that we hear, but not necessarily in those distinct ways. Like, you are the best. Hey, would you like it if you're walking down the street, or you walked in and your person you're with was like, hey, you're the best thing ever, man. Like, that would be super cool. Or, if you're laying in bed and your partner's like, oh my God, are you still talking? You'd be like, oh, yeah, actually I am. That's kind of cool. Haha. I see you. I get you. I love you. I love you is great, but I see you and I get you. That's even better, man.
Yes.
I think if you can say I love you without saying I love you, you are the king of the world.
Yes.
If you can say I Saturday morning biscuit sandwich you, I mean, that goes right to a Saturday morning when I was eating a biscuit sandwich with you and I knew that we were together. That's beautiful. If I can say I road trip terrible snack gas station bathroom you, I remember the exact puke filled bathroom that I was in when you're like, oh my God, let's get out of here. Like, all of those things. If you can say I love you without saying I love you, you win. And
So,
I try to do that on Canvas. I try to say things on Canvas without saying it on Canvas.
mm,
That is my ultimate goal. How can I say something that you know what I'm saying, but I didn't say the words you expected?
yes.
If I can do that, I feel like I've won.
It's the best. And I thought about how I also shout at the top of my lungs, tell them,
Hmm.
because it's like almost in personal growth community, there's such a fear of like, oh, you can't walk around just craving everybody else's validation. That's so
Hmm.
shameful. And then
Hmm.
people are like, am I even allowed to compliment you? And it just gets
Yeah.
way too complicated. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, we want to be celebrating each other. It's
Hmm.
wonderful to walk into a room and be celebrated, to be seen, to be appreciated. And that's very healthy, I think. It's not going to create monsters who are always seeking validation from the outside, right? It's just supporting one another, opening up. And yeah, some of the most meaningful ways to say that are whimsical and funny, but so
Yeah.
felt.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if anybody is listening or watching, next time you're in the grocery store and you see somebody who's super grumpy, find something they're wearing or something about them and just tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, man, I like those boots. Whatever it is, I'll guarantee you that you'll get a reaction that you weren't expecting. I will guarantee
Mm.
you. And it won't be in a bad way. They might be like, yeah, thanks or whatever, but watch them leave the parking lot. They'll walk faster or they'll do something. Even if it's you think the guy's a bouncer at a bar, just say, hey man, you look good today. Or hey man, I like those kicks. Where'd you get them? Whatever. Just try it. See what happens. No
Well,
risk, no story.
that's it. You just walked us right into it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
100%. Tell them, tell them. But yeah, I mean, this is juicy territory, and I know there's quite a series of these
Hmm.
no risk, no story. I honestly like have it as my background on my cell phone. I'm like, I need to see
Thank you.
this as often as possible. So yeah, anything you want to add about this?
Um, yeah, I bought a barn over the phone 3 years ago. That's when this project started.
Wow.
I had been looking for a new place. I was stagnant in where I was. I'd been looking for a while, and every time I looked, it got more expensive, or it was gone, or whatever. And I hate real estate and paperwork. I hate all that stuff. I don't want to deal with it. It's not my thing. So I bought a barn over the phone and took a year and a half to turn it into a studio. I live in Utah now and paint in the studio. Um, but I'll be honest, I think I used every dime I had to buy it. And so now I'm just painting to keep it. And that's the most honest I can be with people right now. Um,
Hmm.
but it was a risk. It's a good story so far. I think it's going to get better. I've met some incredible people out here. Um, I've met some people through, little business meetings or things like that that almost parallel my timeline of things that, man, like, I don't know, do you remember do you remember the brand, uh, No Fear?
Oh yeah.
I inadvertently met a guy who was sort of involved with all of those guys. And that was a part of my like high school life. And like, you know, going up to a Christian school, we are like, oh no, those go, no fear is a terrible thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like just sort of meeting people like that and learning about how people build things and things like that. And Utah is a very an area that a lot of people build different companies and things like that. It's been a really cool thing to learn and see that being an artist is not much different than a lot of what they do. Um,
Hmm.
just have to do it all myself, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so it's been a good ride. There's a lot of stories coming. Yeah.
Oh, so cool. And yeah, you spoke to this a couple of times now, but one of the things that I was really compelled by was your willingness to speak to the Jesus topic. And I think you were still living like in the
Mhm.
Southeast at that
Yeah, I
time. And
was. Yep.
I was like, all right, I see you. You're
Yeah.
you're fearless in that
Mhm.
way. But it made so much sense to me. I loved that because that's a lot of what I work with
Mhm.
helping folks do too is just
Okay.
dismantle the programs and just reset in your own personal knowing, your own personal
Mhm.
truth. And so yeah, when I saw some things, some common phrases scratched out and
Mhm.
some things that made more sense put in their place,
Mhm.
I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about those pieces?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I had a line that I had two different lines. One I never put out publicly. It was a line of greeting cards found in pastors' offices. We won't get into that one. It was really good though. Um, maybe someday I'll be brave enough to share that one. Um, but I did a whole series on like trying to think of some of them, but like just things that we assume Jesus said, or we attribute to things that Jesus said, or um, like Jesus said, "Love thy neighbor." I crossed that out and said, "Love thy neighborhood," as in not just the person next to you, everybody in the neighborhood, not the ones that you like to like. That wasn't what he called us to do. Um, I don't think he ever called us to go to church. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will prove me wrong on that, but I think he did. Um, I think there was something about less conversion, more conversation.
Yes.
There's just things like that. I haven't looked at in a long time, but basically, I think I was raised in a very uh, black or white, right or wrong, left or right environment. There wasn't a lot of middle ground. And by middle ground, all I'm meaning is like, can I raise my hand and ask a question? I wasn't allowed to question. And if I was the bad kid, the bad guy in the room. Why would you ever question this? Um, every answer I was ever given was Kent, it's faith.
Hmm.
And I would say, or at least I didn't know how to say this at the time, but my words now are by definition, faith requires questioning. By definition,
Yeah.
I can't have faith without questioning because faith means I don't know it's true, but I'm having faith that it is. But I can't do that if I don't have a question. Right? Right? Like I don't have faith in gravity. I know gravity exists. I don't have faith that I am hungry right now. I am hungry right now when it's time to eat. I don't have faith that I want to go to sleep at night. Like those are all facts. Do I have faith that Jesus was alive? I believe he was. Can I prove it? Dead Sea Scrolls, Kent. That's what my parents were, or Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever. But there's a lot of questions about religion. I don't care what religion you're in, there's a question.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I allowed to raise my hand and say, yeah, but what about this? Kent, we don't ask those questions. We have faith.
Hmm.
That's a 360-degree circle that I'm just going to keep making you go around in if you really want to, dude. So I think it's good to have questions. I think it's good to question some things and not question them like I don't think it's true, but just question, have those conversations with people. It's fair game. We're not all going to go to the same church slash this, that, or the other. We're all pretty close to the same story. Just a few different characters and superheroes.
Yep.
I mean, there is the T-shirt that says "Religious War," adults fighting over which imaginary friend is better, something like that. I don't know, but like, it's all the same story. We're just putting different people's names in there, and I'm not saying one is right or wrong. I'm just saying all very similar stories. Why can't we have some questions? That's it. That's my two
Reminds me,
cents.
my favorite quote, I think one of my favorite quotes at least is if you're not open to being wrong, you're not committed to knowing the truth.
Oh, that's very good. I like that one. Very good.
Yeah. It's just
I'm never wrong, but yeah. Mhm.
you might be right about that.
I guess I no no I'm wrong quite often. Yeah.
Oh, well, I have to ask you as well
Yes.
about this book.
Hmm.
So it feels like this could be super useful to other artists, and a lot of your wrestling maybe coming out to help other
Yeah.
people. So yeah, tell us about it.
I feel like the book needs an update. It was written a while ago when I was trying to figure things out and and kind of finding the world of licensing and all those kind of things. But it was basically kind of a I had a lot of help when I started. A lot of other artists came to me and really, really helped me out. And so this was sort of my answer to like I've had a bunch of artists coming to me and I was like, I'm telling them all the same thing. Why don't I just write it down? And there's a collection of essays and I guess at the time we had websites and then we had a lot of blogging. I don't know if you remember the blogging world, which I guess it still exists, but in a different form. Now we're doing Substack and all those types of things. But blogging was super popular. So these were a bunch of blog posts that I expanded into a book.
Hmm.
And basically, be something if you want to make something is I believe that as an artist, I I have a I have a calling to be an artist in everything I do. And
Hmm.
it's exhausting. And sometimes I'd like to put it down and just be the guy who's in khakis and a blue shirt. But I can't do it. I exhaust people, and I know this. I am always trying to find a better way to do something, whether that's make a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I can make it faster than you, better than you, more economical than you. When I put something in a microwave, it's 33 seconds, not 30, because I can hit the 33 faster than the 30. So I'm always trying to do something new or better or come up with a better painting, better whatever. I exhaust people. I understand this. But if I'm going to be an artist, I'm going to do it in everything I do. I'm going to coach soccer differently than anybody on the planet. I'm going to go to the gym and have a different attitude than everybody on the planet. I'm going to do things differently because I'm going to do it artistically and fun and secretly better than you and all of those things. But I think I can show up creatively, artistically in what I do. I remember a so I somehow created my own soccer club with one team, and I coached my son and his friends when they were 8 years old until they went to college. That doesn't happen. I had hundreds of people ask me if they could try to do the same thing. You can't. Sorry, I didn't. But I coach differently. I wore jeans and a t-shirt on the sideline, or actually like human clothes instead of warm-ups and high socks and soccer shoes and whatever. I remember one time there were kids who were like having a little pushing fight or whatever. They were teenagers. And one kid shoved my son and looked over and he said, your coach wears jeans. And they were like, yeah, so what? We're destroying you. But like that was their argument of like your coach doesn't look like the rest of the coaches, so you guys suck.
Mm.
And we're like, dude, it's 7-1 or something. Like, yeah, he does wear jeans and he's pretty good at what he does. Look at the score. Like, it's okay to be your own self in what you do. Comes back to everyone has a talent that's uniquely different in your category.
Uh, I was just thinking that you kind of started us off with, yeah, you gotta have a sense of humor with yourself. You gotta, there's and that's what I feel from this too, because I think a lot of people don't really realize that there's also so much ego in not claiming the things that you're good at
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to appear pompous or arrogant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so to just be able to like playfully put it out there without making it a whole thing is really
Yeah.
liberating.
Yeah. I'm a good soccer coach.
Yeah.
Maybe not professional. Give me a group of high school boys. My high school boys will beat your high school boys. Guaranteed. Bring it on. Because it's fun.
Yeah.
So why so serious?
Mm, completely. Completely.
I'm serious. I am serious about what I do. I am serious about what I make and what I create. But I'm also seriously going to have fun doing it, or I hope to.
Mm,
I
yeah.
hope to. And that has been missing for a little while. So I'm back on it. Sorry, I just whacked my table.
You're back on it. Yes. There's one more that I want to show too.
Okay, what do we have here?
Check this out.
You're scaring me with all these. Oh yeah, okay, yep.
I mean, yeah, the colors and it's just, is this brilliant? You made that.
I did. It's kind of cool.
So cool.
It's a combination of like love song lyrics and Bible verses.
Mm.
It's my I'll tell you what that is. It's my answer to sitting in church and thinking over and over and over again, why do all of these Christian rock songs sound the same, have four chords, and for God's sakes, would they just sing a love song?
Mm.
Where everyone in here is either married or gonna get married. You teach us about wives and husbands and blah 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 blah. Well, we can't just sing a love song. Why does every song? I mean, if I was the God of the universe, I would be like, sit down. You sound awful. I'm tired of your hands in the air, and I don't need all six verses. I am the God of the universe. I know I gave you that voice. I'm sorry. Shut up. Sorry. Just pissed
Yeah.
off all of my church band friends. Sorry, Brad. Love you. One verse, please.
Yeah. No, we need free thinkers. We need yeah, some liberation. And that's one of the things that I love
Mhm.
so much about art is it is so spiritual. Y'all are opening these
It
channels.
is. You're right. That's a good way to put it. Thank you. It's a great way to put it.
Yeah. So much profundity coming through and
Mm.
life and aliveness and oh, I feel like I really want to share your manifesto too, and I because I think
Please do. Yeah, please do.
it just
Yeah.
speaks in such a way that yeah, we I think we all should have that manifesto or that personal ethos that we're living into, and it just yours is everything we would expect.
I love it because I wrote it a long time ago, and I don't have any reason to change it. I really don't.
Uh,
So
Epic.
I think that's kind of cool.
It is. Okay, people, here we go.
All right.
Kent says, I will paint what I want, not what will sell. I will use words, but not to explain myself. I will not care what the majority thinks, even though I really want to.
Mhm.
I will strive to make new things, even when the bestseller is popular. I will wear great fitting jeans and tees past the age I am supposed to. I will,
Amen.
amen. I will take care of my body just as well as I do my paintbrushes.
Mhm.
I will push the line of acceptable art for your home.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's the most powerful kind of art is just like I had the experience with your art, like, oh, this is definitely outside of my comfort zone, and that's
Mhm.
exactly why I need it.
Hmm. Thank you.
Hmm.
You've made my day and much more by noticing the energy that is coming from the work. When people notice that, um, it's validation and it's touching to me. And I hear it, but I don't always get to see it. And
Mm.
it's really cool when that effort meets the acceptance or the validation or the I see what you put in there and I feel the energy coming from it. And I would like to be a part of that. And that's the corny thing to say is that's why, that's what I do, what I do. But the real the honest truth is that's better than an exchange of monies or an exchange of uh, whatever it is, to know that that is why my art is on the wall of someone's home.
Mm.
That's what makes me walk up and down the stairs to get the paintbrushes and do those things and try to find the next connection point through canvas and words. I'm constantly trying to find a connection point through canvas and words.
You are doing it, my friend. I mean,
Thank you.
thank you so much for saying that because I felt so much emotion coming up in me because I'm like,
Mhm.
are you kidding? I made your day. I'm like, I've
Mhm.
been so looking forward to having this conversation, and your willingness to be here with us is just so incredible, and your work is just so mind-blowing. So go and get some of his
Yeah.
incredible work. You will
Thank
thank
you.
me later.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna link all
Yep.
of your
Thank you.
stuff, but yeah, but what else should we know? What's
I mean, you should know that by the end of the summer, there will be a lot of new work on the site, a new little campaign, sort of going back to the original Kent Youngstrom of trying to make connection through words and not necessarily worrying about the next great American painting, the next, it's going to go on this, it's going to do on that. It's I am not about being on the art net or the art whatever anymore, or trying to validate myself that way. I'm going to try to create touch points with people and timestamps of their life and events in their life through words on canvas. I'm basically going to kind of take myself to the dry cleaners and see what comes back.
Mm,
And if you're really listening, remember the word dry cleaner. That's all I'm going to say. But there's some cool things coming. It'll probably be the end of the summer. If you're in Utah or if you would like to come to Utah, I will be having a party on my birthday, August 23rd. You are all invited. Um, I only have one guest bed around here, so I don't know who's going to claim that, but I will have a party on the 27th at the studio, revealing new work and new stuff. But that's what I'm really focused on this summer is I've increased the size of my gallery by twice the size, but less paintings, more stories about life in the gallery, and sort of like what we talked about today, why I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. But I'm excited about the direction that I'm going and the choices I've made to be more human as
mm,
my business plan. My business plan is strictly be more human. That's it. 3-word business plan. You can take your metrics and your blah 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 blah, blah and you can toss them out the window because I don't know where they are. Business plan is be more human. And I know that sucks financially, and everybody that wants to tell me to have a business plan, that's great. I understand. I'm working on that too. But the ultimate plan is be more human because that's when I'm good at what I do.
mm,
When I am more results, charts, data, I suck.
no,
When I'm be more human, I'm good to go.
I'm with you. I'm stealing that as my business plan too
You may
because
have it. It's $1 a word.
I got you.
All right.
So cool. And you're still
Yeah.
doing commissions, yes?
Yes, I still want to paint something for people that means something to them. Yes, so I would definitely do commissions. I can alter things that you might see on the site or things like that. Mhm.
Brilliant. You are just genius and so fun to talk to. So, so cool. Thank you so much for being here, for
Oh no,
your
thank you,
work, all the things. Yeah, deepest bow to you.
thank you. I enjoyed my time, but it was good to sort of get out what's in my brain. So thank you.
Uh, we're happy to receive it.
Intimate conversations are a good thing, people.
Truly, truly.